What's up? What's up? It's your girl Mocaso, and we're here with another episode of The Secret Life of the NFT Artist, where every week I come and tell you guys about all the things I've gone through this week on my journey to becoming an NFT artist. Now, to get it started, I'm really happy with how it ended last week. After I was done recording, I wrote an article on Medium to link the YouTube video to, and I decided in that recap, instead of, making it just a few bullets to go over what I actually talked about in this video, I was like, you know what? I'm trying to find this sweet spot to make it personable, but not too personable, right? Because that's me. I'm personable, but really not too personable. So I'm like, oh, well, it'll be really cool to write this as like a Dear Diary. So it's like even still a little sprinkle of that secret life of the NFT artist, especially in that form. Writing, that's really my element. Speaking, I'm still going to be trying to speak like a teacher because that's my element as well. But writing in like a Dear Diary, what am I thinking kind of thing, it really came out nicely, and I'm really happy with that. I do still have plans with the future on how I'd love to transform this, but for now, I'm going to just keep coming, recording my weekly videos, and then writing my follow-up Dear Diary entries on Medium to start putting it out there. So let's get into what I have been doing this week. Well, first and foremost, I have sold another t-shirt. Woohoo! I was getting a little nervous that first week. On the first, I sold a bunch of t-shirts first day, first couple days or whatever the case may be. And then it got a little quiet, but I did sell a t-shirt last week, and it was really great. All the people that have bought t-shirts are amazing people. They're people who have all really been truly supportive of this journey so far, which of course isn't surprising because that's how it is. But I think that's something we have to start talking about more, because when you get into the NFT space, you think, oh, I'm going to create this awesome NFT. I'm going to put it on a marketplace and I'm going to start selling it. But people don't think about, who are you about to sell it to? Well, maybe they do, and that's what actually deters a lot of people, right? Who are you going to sell it to? But in any business that we do, we know those first initial customers be people that we know, family, friends, those that, you meet along, that understand, that see the vision. So seeing those same people, even some of the people like Tiny and CJ, who I have been working with for this past year. I met them on Instagram because I teach an intro to crypto class. So meeting them in these different areas and, going through my intro to crypto class and walking them all the way up to this point and seeing how they're blossoming in this space is just truly amazing. And there's some of those collectors, as well as a few other people who, once I joined with Global Designer Network, always just showed love and showed interest in what I was doing and saying as well. Because when we come into this NFT space, you can come in and pick your niche and build a whole ecosystem around that. And when you're doing that, you're attracting those people that are interested in the same things that you're interested in and like what you're talking about. So it's really important when we're entering this space to remember to kind of start there. And it was great because even as I was talking to Tiny, more realms are growing. Audio is really great. A lot of us already know musicians, so I think that really started bringing it home to people to start getting their friends involved in what we're doing and seeing how they can start, looking at the people that they know, the resources that they have, and start bringing those to the ecosystem as well. So that was really cool, being able to see that and how everybody's growing. Moving forward, like I said, I did sell that one NFT. So I've been working that schedule. I told you guys I was going to be using Twitter Spaces to try to get NFTs going. We did have our first Twitter Spaces session, which was great. And I am still just trying to find this great schedule on when I could be on Discord, when I could be on Twitter Spaces, when I could be here, there, everywhere, and still a mommy, wife, and myself, right? And it's just finding this balance between all of it. And again, you just have to not be afraid of selecting these different ways that we can do. So yes, I've been working my schedule to find a way to not only create, not only do the business of creating my business and this realm, but also selling, right? Because you have to be able to sell what you're doing as well. That's the whole point of business. So working on that balance, and in this NFT space, one of those other things you have to balance is not only what you're doing and what you're getting out of this, but also what your ecosystem that's buying in is getting as well, such as those utilities. So this week I did add a awesome utility to the Collectors Club, which is just the name, obviously, of all the people who have bought one of my Mocasso masterpieces and is a collector. So once they're a collector, they get added to a locked chat where we talk about the pieces that I'm creating. I ask for their insight. Like this next month, I'm actually making crew necks. So I put it out to them first, like, hey, do you guys like crew necks? Once I start thinking about some designs, I'll start putting it out there to them as well so that they can offer insight. What kind of pieces do they want to see tie-dyed and just all kind of things. So that's been really great, but we took it up a notch and we took that text channel to a voice channel, and we hosted our first live behind the scenes jam session where the collectors are able to send in a few song requests that they would like to hear, and I created a playlist with them and we just jammed out. I turned the music up really loud. We all hopped on Discord and I made their tie-dye t-shirts live in front of them for about 2 hours. And I put that time on it because I told them, when you come to the jam session, you don't have to necessarily watch me for the 2 hours, right? That could be kind of creepy anyways. But come, turn your Discord volume up, just let's listen to this music. Let's jam. I was over there trying to hype it up, like, turn the lights on, it's being a funny little host. And it was really cool because I'm such a goofy person like that. Being able to tap in with my collectors like that and have a little character behind these masterpieces are what's going to be, again, a great utility, which are these things that we have to be thinking of as we're creating masterpieces. Because again, we have these physical creations that we're creating, but when it comes to, okay, well, how can we turn this from a physical creation to a digital asset? Well, what makes your creation an asset? What makes people want to get it, right? And so having done that, I really had to start also reflecting on myself, because this month I put it out. I put 25 t-shirts for $250. When I looked at the other t-shirts on their Drip site, they were all about $200 or less. So I was thinking fair market value, a t-shirt too, $250. That's a pretty expensive t-shirt. But we have to think about it in NFTs, right? Because one of the utilities that come with my NFT is staking. So even my husband had to point out that point of view where he's like, yeah, if you spend $250, the staking rewards isn't as high as if it was $500 or $1,000. So that's why real collectors want to make real investments, want those higher priced items. So you can't go and price it too low, because then it's not really growing in value or showing that it has that real value. Especially when I'm over here tie-dyeing and painting and heat pressing these shirts and doing it live, it really put into perspective how much work and intention that I'm putting into this and how much value I need to have in order for it to really uphold that value. And it has to have that dollar on it too, right? Because again, their staking rewards mean something. Resale value means something. So although my intention at first was, $250, that's a good entry point so that when the price doubles, they have room to double their profits and they have room to resell, and that's not going to, be a whole bill, or, just started thinking too much about the collector and not the right ways. So I would say, and an advice to that, because going into my next step where I had to make another pivot from that, I had to stop taking in those considerations like, oh, well, are they going to be able to pay $500 for a t-shirt? Because again, you're also getting this digi model that's in the t-shirt that's stakeable. You're getting this, you're getting that. And all these other NFTs, don't even come with no physical item. That's the thing that really I like clicked in my head. Like, wow, I'm over here selling NFTs, and none of these NFTs come with a physical item, but I'm offering a physical item and trying to undercut my own value. So it was like an epiphany, I'll say, because, we harp on value and pricing and these kind of things, but everyone has their own triggers, things that click and make things make sense. So when I started putting it into that kind of perspective, I was ready to pivot. So we know the basic rules of supply and demand. The supply is too high, the demand is too low. Obviously, the pricing is where it's at. So I'm pivoting to change it around. Where instead of having 25 t-shirts a month, I'm going to have 10 t-shirts a month. And instead of $250, there'll be $500. Now, I was really torn between $500 and $1,000. But the only reason why I've decided on 500 instead of 1,000 is because I am still dropping these items every single month, and I want my collectors to keep collecting. And that also gives me room, right? Once these 10 are flying off the shelves and 10 are being sold out immediately, next, we're definitely going to 1,000. But I've learned it's baby steps, right? Even from going from 10 t-shirts to 25, because I can still open that up, down the line if Raw Apparel hits to be a global brand, which God willing, it will be. So, we will 25 t-shirts to be able to supply the world. That's still going to be a scarce, amount. So that would make sense at that time. But right now, I only need to do 10 t-shirts and focus on selling those 10 t-shirts. So really excited about that pivot, especially like I said, all the things that I consider going into that on how to value yourself, how to value your collectors, and how to find that sweet spot in the middle. And that's been really important because as I'm building this other realm for New York Fashion Week, it's been so amazing because, and no credit to me, but all glory to God, because I'm telling y'all, we are attracting so many amazing people that literally it's magic. Like whatever you want to call it, whatever source, whatever words you use, we're all literally saying the same thing, but it's magical. We have physical creators, we have digital designers, and when they're putting their ideas together, it's been amazing things being created. So it's been really cool being able to put those kind of things together for the New York Fashion Show. And it's going to be really cool to see. And so as those creators are putting their ideas together, a lot of these people it's their first time putting out NFTs. It's their first time being in fashion shows. They have no idea how to price these items. And I'm over here trying to counsel them. And I'm like, man, I've been having the same issue myself. So again, it's really made me start reflecting and being like, man, if I'm telling them what makes the most sense, I need to also be telling myself which makes the most sense. They always say that's what makes a good teacher, when you're able to teach another person. So even again, Tiny, she's somebody who I talk to on the daily basis now since last year. So her making her jewelry and talking to her jewelry pricing and stuff, again, that's even helped me in my own pricing debacle and figuring out how to find the right pricing depending on editions, depending on, if there's collaborators and all these different things. So definitely going to be doing that, and excited to continue to grow our realm. So moving right along, this week is my birthday week. So exciting. This Wednesday is my birthday. I'm so excited about what all that entails. For me, I don't celebrate too many holidays anymore because, I'm not into politics. I'm not into the hoopla. Once you start knowing too much, you start seeing the gimmicks and things. And I try not to play into the gimmicks, where it's like, let's stay focused, let's stay on the mission and just stay focused. But birthdays are so important. It's literally the day you were born. And I think it's something to be celebrated and something to be mindful of, especially because you're going another year around the sun, right? So it's crazy. This time last year, I had made a new Instagram called The Grandest Lifestyle. I made a Discord channel called The Grand Life Network. And I actually made an OnlyFans account as well because I was going to have my book club on OnlyFans. And I was like, all books, no booty. I tell you, I'm just a freaking goofball. And I even made a blog as well where I was going to be sharing a lot of the stuff I was doing between balancing, being a teaching mother for my 3-year-old and executive assistant for my husband, while also finding this medium of also being the mother of the household that has to kind of balance it all. So when I started that last year, I would say last year has been such preparation for literally this moment. It's sad because had I been focused on NFTs and building in this space this time last year, obviously I would be a year in the game. But having started that way, I learned so much. When I'm in the game right now, I'm like prepared, feeling like, take me off the bench, coach. Put me in the game. I'm ready. And that's important, especially when you think about having to put yourself out there on social media. You guys hear me talking, right? Sometimes I slur. Sometimes I say, sometimes my speech impediment is out there. It's just, you start putting these own barriers in front of yourself and saying like, oh, well, why you can't be that person in front and why you're not supposed to be in the spotlight. But when you get out your own way and you focus on the gifts that you have, the knowledge you have, and the opportunities being presented, you have to start taking advantage of that. So at this point, it's like, let me get back on track, stay focused. I've been putting in the work. I've been learning, grinding. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing, and I'm ready to execute. And I'm just happy to be able to execute. So this year for my birthday, definitely planning on kind of, figuring out how to not rebrand, but just brand myself in general, because this is a business that I'm building with my family that I want to be sustainable and profitable, right? Some people say, oh, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Right. Because we're saving lives. Of course, it's not about the money, but in my life, as right now when we're looking, there could be a recession, all kind of things could be happening outside. So it's like you have to be trying to get as much as you can and preparing for whatever. So at some point, it has to come down to it and to things making sense. Otherwise, you end up working backwards, right? And that's something I also learned when it came down to that pricing, right? A $250 t-shirt, once you count split fees, gas fees, and whatever taxes that you got to put to the side, and then you got to ship out these physical items because, again, I'm making physical, not just the digital. It starts balancing out where it's like, wait a second, wait. So, again, you really want to be finding these sweet spots when it comes to putting in and getting out, right? And just, I know this is a time it's about to start paying off. I've been putting in a lot. I know it's going to start paying off. So birthday plans this year is just, again, stay focused on Raw Realm, building this. We have so many amazing people joining the realm, creating together, building together. I was talking to my husband yesterday about our business, and then we listened to the community call and they were so aligned. I was happy because I'm like, I'm working on that. I'm aligned with what we're doing. And when I re-listened to what I was saying and painting the picture for others and telling people these are the things we're focusing on as we're building this realm, it assured me again, I am on track. And it's time, we're here, we got the pieces. Every time I say, oh, I need this or I need that, boom, it'd be right there. So I know it's time. I know it's here. And now it's just time to get it done. So I'm going to keep building that Raw Realm. I do also want to get my courses back into play. This is something I've been saying a lot. The more I've been focusing on like my NFTs and the Raw Realm and motherhood, because again, I'm telling you guys, it's a balance. Having those one-on-one intro sessions, it can be time consuming. So what I'm trying to do, especially we're moving into this time where a lot of you guys know onboarding is another one of those niches that I have when it comes to coaching and teaching. Like, let me help you figure out how you can take whatever you're doing and revolutionize it to be aligned with what's happening. So with that being said, I want to start streamlining my intro courses more. So I'm going to start recording some content, putting it out on all different platforms. So stay tuned for all of that. But I definitely want to make sure I'm staying focused on educating, getting my courses out there still, and just continue to build all the different areas that I have going on. And they always say, oh, you have to master something, or, you have too many things, or however the saying goes. But you have, when you have a lot of things going on, you have to put focus on all of those, right? Because they all come together. For example, I'm recording this podcast right now for YouTube. A lot of my other content will be for YouTube. So yes, they can all have different topics because I'm doing different things, but they're all going towards YouTube to be building this education in different perspectives. So it's like, that's when it comes down to understanding the importance between a mission and a vision. The mission is what is happening. It's what we're all doing. The vision is your perspective, depending on where you're at, what the circumstances are, depending on who you are. So, those two things can be different, but they work best when they are aligned and on track together. So I encourage all of my listeners to take this week, my birthday week, and realign your business with or whatever you're doing, realign your mission and your vision and make sure it's on track. The mission is literally what's happening in the world. If you believe in oneness and that we're all connected and all here for a reason, then the mission is outside of you, right? It's something bigger than any of us could imagine. We hear these things often, but don't understand what they really mean. And that mission is something that's bigger than all of us. Your vision of it, yes, is how you can perceive it. But you want to make sure that vision is aligned with the mission that we are all going towards, so that we can all come together and be building this and see it become successful, because the mission gonna happen whether you like it or not. So you want to make sure you're a part of that mission, because the mission isn't going to change just because your vision is skewed, if you catch me. So thanks for listening. Stay tuned. Wish me a happy birthday. We will be live Wednesday for our Raw workshops. This week is going to be a Get to Know Your Founders, Ask Me Anything Day. I am also going to have a birthday bash on mirror.xyz, where I write some stuff on there, maybe do like a little raid, so everybody that wants to do a little birthday contribution can. And it's just going to be great. So looking forward to this next year and what it will bring. Thanks for listening. Peace.